Third is an irrational number. Is an irrational number that is in root form. So you know root form. Root can be like this. You can say this, that's square root of a. We have cube root of a, and we have fourth root of a, and so on. So surd is an irrational number that is in root form, and surd can be expressed as this: n times surd a, where n here is a rational number. Is a rational number, while the square root of a here is irrational number. So this is how surd is represented. So, and most of us, we don't understand what we mean by rational and irrational numbers. So rational numbers are those numbers, or those real numbers, that can be expressed as a quotient, that's in this form, can be expressed in this form. But irrational number cannot be represented in this form, cannot be represented in a quotient form. But here, rational number can be expressed in this form. Then, what are those numbers that can be represented in this form? Like an integer 2 can be represented in this form. Remember, 2 is the same thing as saying 2 divided by 1. That is in this form, where m is equals to 2 and n is equals to what? Is equals to 1. And mind you, n must not be equals to what? Must not be equal to, n must not be equals to 0 for this to be rational in this form. So while here, example of irrational number is pi, which is 22/7. Another example of rational number would be 1/3, and this is 0.3333, and so on. So, or we have something like call it 2.25252525, and so on. So in this case, you can see we have what reoccurring word decimals. 25 keeps repeating itself. Here 333 keeps what? Repeating itself. You also have terminating decimals, just like 1/2, which is equal to what? 0.5. It ends here. It does no other mixed. But in the case of irrational numbers, we have something like 1.23025167, and so you can see the decimal part there is not specific, keeps changing values. So it's not as the one that we have recurring decimals, like we have 252525 or 33333 keeps going. So here, this one is what? Rational, because it has a fixed value, but this one doesn't have. So that's the difference between irrational and rational. So surds is an irrational number, like surd 2, surd 3, and so on, irrational number. While these ones are what? Square root of 4 is what? Rational, because square root of 4 is equal to 2, and other what? Square roots. So these are surds. These are rational, and here irrational number. So at the end, let's solve one thing. Let's solve one thing before we move to some other. Let's solve one thing. Let's simplify application of surds. So we have simplify 27 minus 12 plus 2 75. So in this case, we have to simplify this very Surds. So let's look for something that that has a root. From here we have 9 times 3 give us 27. Here we have 4 times 3 give us 12, and here we have 25 times 3 that will give us 75. So the square root of 9 is 3. We have this. The square root of 4 is 2. We have the remaining thing inside. And lastly, the square root of 25 is 5. We have this. So simplifying, here we have, that would be 3 minus 2 is 1. So that means 3 sub 3 minus 2 sub 3 is going to be sub 3. Here is 2 times 5 is 10 sub 3. And our final answer here gives us what? 11 sub 3. This is sub 3. It's like you 1 sub 3. But sub 3 plus 10 sub 3, that is 11 sub 3. We have it this way. So this is how to simplify Surds. I hope you understand our explanation on Surds. We'll come back again on Surds, other questions that is related to Surds. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and share, comment, drop a question if you have any question that you need to understand more of this very topic. Drop your question. We'll be glad to answer your question. Thank you very much for watching.